Hey guys, what's up? So I want to make another video about my arm because I'm about like 7 months post-op now, and things change as time goes on, so I want to talk a little bit how it's healing now, and also because I woke up with it really swollen this morning, so it was kind of on my mind, and I tend to wake up with it a little bit more swollen, but it was particularly swollen today, as well as my fingers and that sort of thing, so that's fun. On days where it's more swollen, I don't know if you can see it now, it's gone down a little bit, but I'll hold these up. So, I mean, it's not horrible right now, but if you can tell when I kind of bend my hand back, these little fat rolls right here, that kind of hinders my mobility a little bit, and also it's not a favorable feeling. I could feel it back up in here in like a tightness sort of way, so my skin gets really tight when I have swelling up in here, and working with it or working out gets to be pretty annoying, and I really want to discuss how my arm is feeling now, because if this is a surgery you're considering, I want you to know that this could be the possibility or like consequences of this surgery. I feel like consequences is a bad word because it's like it's still all worth it, but if I could do things differently, I want to tell you what I would do or say or look into just for your own sake. Like, maybe you won't have to deal with this, and not everyone has these sort of issues with their arm post-op, but part of the reason that I think that I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with is because of how high my scar goes up. If you notice, like turning it around, it's like right up to my hand. See that? And it's over that little bumpy thing. So a lot of people, or like some people at least, their scar tends to stop like right here. So they have a little bit more room from where the graft starts to like the hand. But since mine's like right at the bending point, I really had a tough time gaining mobility back. It's still really stiff. My wrist actually, it's kind of painful still. Like, it feels like I injured my wrist and it didn't hurt before, so that kind of sucks. But it's really tight still. It still feels like there's like an ace bandage wrapped around it. I feel like I'm wearing a splint, and like I have like a splint going from here down to here. I don't know if you can see, but when I bend, like, this doesn't move. It's just really, really, really tight. And so be prepared to have these possibilities if you're considering this surgery. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it could happen to you. So this is just something to keep in mind. I really want to stress these things that you don't really hear about. The doctors do try to, especially Dr. Chen, he really does try to explain to you possible complications. I don't know if you'd call this a complication, but since they haven't really gone through it themselves, I feel like it's probably kind of hard for them to really know what certain things feel like or what to expect. A lot of them will tell you that people will regain full mobility in their wrist, and it's like no problem. It's like I think doctors tend to brush over the arm thing a lot of the times. But if you're someone who uses your arm a lot, like me, like you work out, or you work in food, or etc. It's just something to keep in mind. And rewind, if there is something I could do differently, I would take a shorter penis over them going all the way up on my arm like this. I would prefer to have just a little bit shorter and would have had them stop like right there. But I had no idea that they were going to go up that high, because I've got some buddies and theirs did not go up that high. So when I actually saw my arm, I was surprised how high up they went with that. But I feel like that's why it's so stiff. And so yeah, I use my arm more than I use my penis, so I'd really prefer, I would have asked for a shorter penis. I mean, if you use your penis more than your arm, then kudos to you, but it's definitely not the case for me. That's what I would just like to discuss about the arm. It is healing up. I do have this kind of like trouble spot right here, I think, where the graft didn't take. Sometimes it bubbles up kind of like a blister, and then it pops and then like scabs over, but right now it's staying pretty healed. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it looks like a little spot thing. It's kind of creepy. But yeah, mobility so far, it's like, it looks good, right? Like, it looks like I have full, like I do, but the problem is it's so stiff and I hate the feeling of that. And then I feel a little bit of pain right in here. So also twisting, it's tight, but you know, it's a work in progress. It's getting there. Hopefully this will loosen up too. But I just wanted to make you guys completely aware before going into this surgery that this is something to keep in mind. Please keep this in mind. And yeah, that's about it. I think most of the days that I don't, you know, I forget it's there and I don't really notice it until maybe someone like asks me what happened to my arm and I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot that was there. And it's not every day that I wake up with it super swollen and stiff, but it happens. And yeah, just wanted to talk about that. I'm trying to think of anything else I need to talk about when it comes to my arm. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. But yeah, I've had a few more people ask me about it lately, and I just say it's a long story, and I leave it at that. And normally people will like want a little bit more, but you don't have to give it to them. So after a while, they just kind of give up. And yeah, so not a big deal. I just say long story, and I think people just kind of generally get the hint that you don't really want to talk about it. The thing is, my mom is in the hospital right now. She's having hernia surgery. So if you all could just give her some well wishes, that would be awesome. And hopefully she gets better soon. And yeah, just keep her in your thoughts. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace out. I'll see you next time.